Hey foodies, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these delicious broccoli and cheddar cheese stuffed chicken breasts. So let's take a look at the ingredients. So for this recipe, you will need 5 skinless and boneless chicken breasts, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 8 ounces of frozen broccoli, 1 cup of cheddar cheese, and then we have our seasonings. I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of Lawrys seasoning salt, 1 teaspoon of creole seasoning, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And then I have 1 small onion chopped up. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and add my broccoli into some boiling hot water, and I'm going to go ahead and boil that for 3 minutes. I just want to go ahead and remove some of that excess water. And since these chicken breasts are kind of all over the place when it comes to thickness, I'm only going to stuff 2 of these. As you can see, this one is a little bit thick, so I'm going to stuff this one, and then I'm going to stuff the other one as well. And the rest, we're going to roll it into the mixture, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and butterfly this chicken, and that is fairly easy. You start off with your thickest part of the chicken and you go ahead and just slide that knife through, and it makes a little pocket. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that one more time. And when you cut this, you wanna make sure you take your time. You wanna make sure you don't poke any holes into this chicken, because then the mixture is gonna leak all over the place. All right, so now that we're done making our pockets, I'm gonna go ahead and season this chicken. So I'm just going to take all the seasonings and I'm just going to mix those together, and we're going to go ahead and apply that to the chicken. Now you don't have to use all of the seasoning. You can use a little bit less. I just like my food to be well seasoned. So now I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to rub that seasoning onto that chicken. Want to make sure you rub that seasoning in really good. Now we're going to go ahead and flip those chicken breasts over and season the other side as well, and make sure you rub that in. We eat both sides, so you want to make sure you season both sides. The only thing I will not be seasoning is the pockets, because it's already going to be seasoned from the mixture and I don't want it to be salty in the inside. But everything else, you want to make sure you season well. All right, so after you're done rubbing that in, I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside, and we're gonna get started on making this mixture. I'm using 8 ounces of cream cheese. You wanna make sure you leave this out for a little bit so it could be room temperature. That way everything is easy to mix together. And then we have the broccoli that we boiled earlier, and I'm gonna add that in. You wanna make sure you add that broccoli in gradually. That way everything is easier to mix together. Okay, so now I'm gonna add in the onions and the cheddar cheese, and we're gonna give everything a good mix. And don't worry, the onions do not need to be pre-cooked. The onions will cook when I sear the chicken breast on top of the stove. Okay, so now we're gonna add in some seasonings. I'm gonna add in 2 teaspoons of complete seasoning and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and we're just gonna mix everything together. All right, so now that our mixture is done, we're gonna head back over to these chicken breasts. And I'm gonna start off by stuffing the 2 big ones. And this is super simple. We're just gonna take that mixture and stuff it inside. Try not to overstuff it so the stuffing doesn't fall out. If you want to, you can even use toothpicks to keep your chicken breasts closed while you're cooking them. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys the other way how to do it. You just wanna take a generous amount, smear that down, and then we're just gonna roll this. This is super simple. You're just gonna tuck and roll. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that one more time. Now you can also stick toothpicks in these as well, just to make sure none of that mixture falls out. But if you cook these with the folded side facing down, you should be good. All right, so now it's time to sear these chicken breasts. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my stove on a medium to high heat, and I added a little bit of oil in there, and I'm gonna let these sear for about 5 minutes on each side. You just wanna make sure it has that golden brown crust on it. We're not trying to cook this fully because this is gonna cook in the oven. All right, so once they've seared on both sides, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that from the pan, just so we have room to sear the other 3 chicken breasts. And as you can see, it's already looking really delicious. Okay, so we're gonna basically repeat the same process, 5 minutes on each side. The only thing is, since these are round, you wanna make sure you hit every side. Okay, so now I'm gonna place the other 2 chicken breasts back in the pan, and we're gonna pop this in the oven on 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes. So this is what our chicken breast is looking like fresh out the oven. I'm just gonna go ahead and plate this for you guys. As you see, this is a super simple recipe, but it just looks very fancy. Not to mention, it tastes absolutely delicious. It took me less than an hour to make this, and it was definitely worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribing to my channel. And if you do try this recipe, be sure to leave me a comment below letting me know how it came out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.